We have it here as federal government and Delta states defer on £4.2 million Ibori loot payment. Now, earlier on, when the conversation of this Ibori loot came up, the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, said the funds would not be given to Delta State, but would rather be used for federal government projects. However, the Accountant General of the Federation, in person of Ahmed Idris, said the money has been released to Delta State, and he made a comparison with the fact that when a particular money was also repatriated in Plateau State, it was returned back to the government, and this should not be different. However, there has been a clash between the federal government and Delta State. I'd like to have your opinion on this particular issue.
Yes, when it broke out 2 months ago, we came up with the League of Ndopa Professionals, where I served as the publicity secretary. We came out with a press conference to explain the fact that this funds does not belong to the federal government, because if you look at section 162 of the Constitution, 162, 164 of the Constitution, it clearly says that any money standing in the credit of the state government to the federal government must be deployed to the state government. Now, the state government, the Delta State government, I am from Delta State, so I am talking from the point of knowledge. The Delta State government earned this money through their revenue allocation from the federal government and the 13% derivation they get, and then from their IGR and other legal means of income, including loans from banks. Now, this funds was looted during the Ibori administration and then taken outside. Then after his conviction in the UK, some of these funds were traced to relatives of his. And then the British government came up with that proposal. The Attorney General of the Federation went ahead and then signed an MOU with the British government to have the money used for the Kanu Abuja Road, Lagos Ibadan Expressway, and then the second Niger Bridge. The moment that was made public 2 months ago, we came up and said, no, that is wrong. We wrote a reaction note to the Attorney General, and then we went to court. I particularly went to the Federal High Court, and I have a pending suit against the Attorney General, the Federal Executive Council, the Ministry of Finance, the Accountant General of the Federation. Now, when we filed this, we filed a suit. Immediately after we filed the suit, we had not gotten a date when Jusun went on strike. So while we're watching that, the government of the Britain released the fund, and then the Attorney General made the same statement again, that fund will not be sent to the Delta State government, that it can only be deployed to the purpose for which the agreement was signed. And then we began to write articles and a statement to agitate and advocate for that fund to be returned. Only yesterday, I got the news that the funds have been returned to Delta State. And that is the right thing to do. That is the right thing to do, because equity and justice demands that. You see, when the funds of Bayelsa State government were laundered by the late Cyprian Alamesia, the former governor of Bayelsa State, the funds were released back to the Bayelsa State government. In Plateau State, the same thing happened. When it got to Delta State, the Attorney General intercepted it and went to sign some frivolous agreement. What the British government wants to ensure is that these funds is used for the development of the people. When you went to sign that agreement has not been subjected to domestication, according to Section 12, Subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution, which says that every agreement, every treaty, and all that is signed between Nigeria and other countries, bilateral or multilateral, must be subjected to the National Assembly for ratification. That has not been done. So we brought the action on the basis of that if this fund is used for the federal government project as was stated, it is illegal, it is unconstitutional, it is repugnant to natural justice, equity, and good conscience. We stated that. And now they have complied and the funds have been returned to Delta State. I think this is the way to go. A government must understand that the municipal laws and the international laws on this matter are in favor of the Delta State government. And I think that it is of great wisdom that money was sent back to the coffers of the Delta State government. And then as for the Delta State government, we are going to monitor that fund and ensure that the money is used for the purposes of the development of the good people of Delta State, that such fund is not relooted, that such fund must be deployed to the areas in that country that needs development. If you go to Delta State, a lot of areas like where I came from in Ndokwa, the areas are not developed because under the Bori government, the funds, the public funds that belongs to Delta State were largely mismanaged. And because they were largely mismanaged, you go there, you cannot find public health care facilities, you cannot find good water, you cannot find roads, you cannot find light and the rest of it. People are suffering, living under high tension poverty because of the kind of leadership we have had in the past in Delta State. So I think it's a good one for the federal government. I commend the federal government for taking that decision to that effect. And we will see to it. We'll wait a while and see how it goes before we decide on what to do with the suit we file in court to this effect.
Okay, thank you so much, Barrister Evans, for that in-depth explanation and analysis on the issue of the Ibori loot. And we are hopeful and we trust that transparency would play through in the course of the disbursement of the funds. Thank you so much for joining us on Newspaper Review this morning. It was nice having the conversation with you. Do have a beautiful day.
Thank you.